I don't know if I can express how disgusted I am with the coverage and the conversation surrounding this shooting that happened on the 14th in Broward County. When the Broward County Sheriff has 4 sheriff's deputies, one of which is assigned to the school specifically for this purpose, and these 4 deputies stand outside the school while Nicholas Cruz murders 17 people inside. That is disgusting. You volunteered for that position. You're holding a firearm, and it is your duty to protect the people of Broward County, and you stand down. And then Sheriff Israel wants to go on national television and blame the tool with which an evil person murdered 17 people. That is disgusting. You should step down. You should absolutely step down. To come out and publicly blame the National Rifle Association for your ineptitude and the inaction of your men, you should resign. Sheriff Israel should resign. And CNN, I get it. You're anti-gun. I understand that. Is the goal to get rid of guns, or is the goal to stop violence? If the goal is to stop violence, by all means, let's talk about stopping the violence. And let's look at the 2 highest indicators with the highest level of correlation for a mass shooting. Pharmaceutical drugs. Wait a minute, those might be sponsors. I guess we can't talk about pharmaceutical drugs and SSRIs contributing to mass shootings. Because I don't see Pfizer advertising on YouTube videos. I don't see any Zoloft or Xanax ads on YouTube videos or in alternative media at all. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw a Xanax ad on a website. So one of your primary advertisers, a pharmaceutical company, is also highly correlated with mass shootings, and we can't talk about it. The second thing we're not talking about, and I understand I'm a broken record on this thing, broken homes. What's common across all of these mass shooters? They're from all different races, all different religions, primarily male. So I suppose that's the number one indicator. So unless we get rid of men, I don't think we can fix that one. We can find out what's happening to men. That's going to be a complex discussion, I think. But pharmaceutical drugs and broken homes, the 2 biggest indicators for mass violence. And to immediately turn the camera on the kids who want to parrot your narrative is gross. If these kids just witnessed their friends being murdered, and you want to put them in front of a camera and puppet them around to parrot the way you feel about guns, that is disgusting. Sheriff Israel, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all of you guys, the discussion happens the same way every time. One side's blaming the person, one side's blaming the tool. I don't understand how this conversation never goes anywhere, and it could be because this is the first time I've ever fully paid attention to what happens following one of these events. Why are we not talking about the root causes of this violence? What is it in our society that's breaking up homes? What is it in our society that's making people so depressed they become dependent on drugs just to function? There's a deeper problem here, and I'm inclined to believe that problem is going to be so difficult to solve that we can't even talk about it. We can't even discuss the sickness in our society that's driving children to murder other children, and then for adults to puppet the victims to promote a narrative, to promote an agenda. And NRA contributions are going through the roof at the same time that this never again hashtag movement is gaining so much momentum that it's absurd to think that Nothing was being done prior to this. It's not until you whip people into a frenzy that there's any action taken. And will this result in any action? I don't know. The NRA, from what I understand, does a lot of advocacy work with the donations they receive. They do lobbying. This Never Again movement, where's all that money going to go? I'm not sure. I suppose we'll see. But this really does a great job of distracting from the nothing that occurred with the Russian collusion narrative when the Democrats' Schiff memo essentially confirms what was in the Nunes memo, but words it a little more carefully so as not to shine such a light on the actual source of the issue, which is the FISA application itself. What was on the application, make it public. If we can see what was on that application and what was in subsequent applications that were approved by people who were friendly to the Clinton campaign and antagonistic toward the Trump campaign, that's the relevant issue. Not when an investigation started on Carter Page. Who gives a shit? It's a good job distracting from that, though. I'm interested to see what people are going to be more upset about in the next month. What upsets you more? 13 Russians creating fake social media accounts to try and influence your thinking, or rampant voter fraud happening domestically in the United States? What's more of a concern? Domestic interference in an election or foreign interference in an election? And when I say domestic interference, I don't mean people going out and handing out flyers and saying, please vote for Hillary Clinton, please vote for Donald Trump. What I'm talking about is who owns the company that manufactures our voting tabulation machines? That's an interesting question, and I think you ought to dig into it, because I know what upsets me more. And that may be new information for everyone. It was new information to me. Back to Israel. The Broward County Sheriff, Israel, needs to resign. Your inaction contributed to the deaths of 17 children and a national outrage where we're pointing at everything but the cause of the problem.